day.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I just heard one.
I love hearing those stories. Like
they're so fun.
They are fun.
They're so disconnected from them though, because there's guys. There was a guy I heard one time who's in his hometown. Everybody in the hometown thought he was a special operations guy, and he was milking that. The whole town was milking it. And somebody had contacted me and said, "Hey, I want to do a podcast on this guy. He seems legit, but can you just look into him?" Like, absolutely. I just Googled his name and was like, this dude's a fucking liar. And he had been scamming the whole town. But then the dilemma was, how do you handle that? So here's what's weird about this, because I didn't know how to handle it. He was mentoring kids at as a coach, right? Like as a coach. And I'm like, what do I say? Do I just ruin kids' lives? Because I'm like, this dude is a liar and everything he's saying is a lie. And the guy we had a phone call. And
with the guy?
With the guy.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, where'd you go to? He was talking and he didn't know who I was.
Yeah.
And he goes, special operation this, special operation that, free fall. I was like, oh, that's really cool, man. One of my cousins is a free fall guy. Where'd you go to free fall school at? And he was like, oh, Fort Bragg, I'm like,
cool.
I don't think yet.
I mean, that's where the old wind tunnel used to be.
That's the wind tunnel. You did first week there. I was like, did you jump? You jumped at Bragg? He's like, oh, yeah. That's what I can't talk too much about it, but yeah. I was like,
oh, that classified free fall course.
Dude,
brutal.
It's a good one. That's the best one.
It was it like hurt me because I did and it's not like me because usually I'm like, I'll call a motherfucker out. Like I just don't have a filter. But what I thought about was the kids, and I thought if I just say something. This dude's gonna kill himself in front of a whole bunch of kids. Like something dramatic.
I see what you're saying,
So I was like, I don't want nothing to do with this. I told the woman, I said, listen, he's not real. He's actually a really hardcore fake. In fact, because he was disabled. He had lost a leg.
To like diabetes or something.
No. He legitimately was blown the fuck up in Iraq.
So he had served, but he changed the narrative on. He did the service.
So legitimate dude. When you Google his name, it has his Purple Heart right up.
Oh, right.
And so he was in combat arms, like the infantry or 19 Delta or something like that. Legitimately got blown up. I'm like, dude, that's good enough. Like you served, you got blown up.
Yeah.
You just like do that. And he had to go the extra additional step. And so I didn't want nothing to do with it. I said, listen, I'm not going to, like, what should I do? I'm like, you do you. I don't want any involvement in this. Because I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do morally or ethically to burn this dude down.
Right.
And I don't have fucking time.
Well, I think, like when you're telling me this story, what I think you should have done was like fly out there.
I was actually thinking exactly the same thing.
Invite all the kids to like a high school gymnasium.
Yeah. And
then present him a award, and while you're presenting it, just read through all the fake shit that he's done and be like, the kids, this person is a liar.
Yes.
And this is what it looks like.
There is a life lesson in that.
And
that would have gone down perfect.
And given him like some kind of trophy.
Yeah. You could have done that for me as the double.
Right.
You could have doubled.
I also would have volunteered my services for this.
I would have
gotten just what would you guys have done? Would you guys have just called him out?
Nothing.
Yeah.
I actually don't even care anymore. Like, when I don't say care that. Either, I'll talk to guys, and if they're fucking lying to my face, I'll just be like, "Oh, you're full of shit."
Yeah.
Like, "Oh, so you're just full of shit." And it's
if I see people who are like manipulating organizations and are getting money from them, I will say something.
Yeah.
If they're manipulating other people for their favor and like getting free shit, like I don't know exactly where that tipping point is for me, but if it's egregious, I will say something about it.
Yeah.
But other than that, you also have to pick and choose your battles.
I don't have the energy or the time frame for it. So I'm just like, you're full of shit, and typically just roll out. Most people won't say those things anymore. Like it used to happen more, but now they're like, oh well.
People are getting savvy.
They know who I am, right? And that's not some kind of weird flex. They're just like, oh well. They're not going to lie to me because they're going to be like, oh well, you were able to smell this out. But where I get it is like their family members or their friends. Yeah, it's like it's a constant stream. Well, my cousin or my friend or my coworker or this guy that I'm connected with, and he's like he was a Green Beret or he's a Navy SEAL. I think you guys get it way more, which is like you get all the guys that are like, I was a Navy SEAL. I had a car or a guy that I bought a car from, like, I don't know, 7 years ago or something like that. And I was buying, he's like, oh, you're a Green Beret, like Fred over here is a Navy SEAL. And I like walked over there. I was like, oh, so what team are you in or whatever? It's like 20. It's pretty sick.
I had a guy tell me.
It's like 20, SEAL Team 20 or whatever.
I had a guy tell me one time.
20?
Yeah.
It was like, it wasn't even close.
It was a ridiculous number. I had a guy tell me not too long ago, he was like, yeah, I was with Team 3 in Vietnam. I was like,
sick.
Okay. I mean,
Yeah.
mind you, they were commissioned in the 80s.
Right.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
It's like, okay, man.
How'd you handle that?
I asked him what Bud's class he was in, and he said 76. He said the Bud's class in 1976. And I said, which number was it? He goes, the one in 1976. And I would put him at my snapshot assessment at the lower functioning end of the spectrum.
Right.
And just moved on with my life. I was like,
Right.
cool story. Thank you for your service, which to me is just an underhanded insult to him.
Yeah.
And then just
you for your
continue on my
service.
day. Yeah.
This was in Montana?
Yeah.
Ouch.
I like the guys, like, I've run into a few guys with like stickers, like Trident stickers on their truck. And
The bigger the better.
Like, it's awesome. So but I'll like say hi or whatever, like, hey man, what team you're on? I like these guys. The new narrative I've caught a few times, I think Jericho and I were talking about it too, is like, oh, I wasn't a team guy. I just support them. I just support them. Like, by putting a fucking Trident on the back of your truck? Yeah, I support the guys. I want to support the guys. So I was thinking about it as like we were
So
talking
can I
about,
start wearing a green beret because I support you guys?
yeah, exactly. That's
can
where
do
it was
that.
like, Jericho and I were joking about this the other day. We were talking about how we want to shoot this skit where it's like this guy pulls into Applebee's, right? Where he's got like a whole like a Trident and a fucking Tower of Power and the whole thing, right? Across the entire back window. And he's like steps out wearing a Medal of Honor. And he goes in and sits at Applebee's and the guy's, oh my gosh, like, thank you so much, gives him a meal. And like Dakota Meyer's like on the other side and like buys him a meal or whatever. And some guy comes up to him and is like, oh my God, thank you for all you've done. It's like Medal of Honor. He's like, oh, I don't have it. I just wear it to support the guys.
Why haven't we shot this already?
Hey, right?
Dakota would be down to play that
he
role.
would do
would
that.
love it. Oh, I don't have a Medal of Honor. I just wear it to support the guys. It's like he's got like all a bunch of free drinks and free
Fuck,
food.
that's an interesting
It's
end
like
around, though.
Parks and handicap and the handicap
People
line.
saying that. It's an interesting end
It
around.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because what they want is for people to make the assumption and not
Right.
ask the question.
Right.
Yeah.